What's going on, guys? I'm joined by Dan Roche. Dan is a host and reporter and anchor for WBZ-TV, and this is his third time winning the award. So congratulations, Dan, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Sahil. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So Dan, what was your career path like on your way to where you are now? Did you always know that you wanted to be a part of the sports media industry?
Growing up in the greater Boston, I lived about 30 miles north of Boston, Mass. Grew up a Boston sports fan, and had one of those strange things where in seventh grade, for some reason, I decided that I wanted to do two things. One, play college baseball. I didn't care how, where, or when. And two, get into sports media, broadcasting, journalism, whatever way I could. And was lucky enough to do both. I went to a small school in Maine to play college baseball for 1 year before it went bankrupt. It's called Nassau College. It's no longer there, but had the time of my life. Played baseball with a group of great guys. Had a lot of fun, and then I transferred and went to Syracuse and began my sports broadcasting career. So I've been blessed and had a lot of fun along the way.
That's incredible, and that's the great story. And you ended up transferring to Syracuse, which has an amazing legacy of talent that entered this industry. So Dan, what would you consider to be your favorite part of your job?
It's pretty much I'm a very simple guy when it comes to my job, from the sense of I like to keep it simple, stupid, especially in television. Let the video tell stories, let the pictures, what have you. And it's kind of the story of my life. I wake up every day. I look forward to what's going on in the Boston sports scene, and I go out and cover it as best I can for the entire day and night, and do what I can to make our viewers enjoy it and have a presence on social media and what have you. So it's kind of a typical day is, nowadays get up on Zoom and just, or even already today, it was with listening to Alex Cora of the Red Sox with his pregame chat with reporters, and then went over to Bruce Cassidy, the Bruins head coach, and heard what he had to say. Talk to a Bruin player as well. And, now I'll go into the Garden tonight for a Bruins game and go live there, and then, finish up at 11 o'clock at midnight or whatever. So every day is different. Every day is fun. And it's, again, telling stories the best of our abilities, and trying to do the best we can.
That sounds like an amazing day for someone who grew up a sports fan. Now, this may be a little more challenging to answer, but this could be something tangible or intangible. But what would you consider to be the highlight of your career thus far?
That's a good question. I think maybe the best way is to be the best thing to say is to be a part of all the winning, and again, I grew up in Boston. So, when the Red Sox were in contention on Labor Day, it was considered a good season when I grew up. So to be a part, I started first of all, I started for Kurt Gowdy's radio stations up in Lawrence, Massachusetts, in the early 80s when I was going to Syracuse, and then was able to cover the Red Sox. So that was a thrill. But then in 2000, I switched from WBZ radio over to WBZ-TV. And since 2000, the last 20 years, we all know the story of Boston. It's been,
Right.
6 Patriots Super Bowl championships, 4 World Series titles for the Red Sox, 1 for the Celtics, 1 for the Bruins. So it's just been an absolute blast to do that. The highlight would probably be in 03, 04, 05. Our television station, our sister station, did Friday Night Baseball. So it was being with that Red Sox group. And if you think about those 3 years, I was a sideline reporter, a host of a half-hour weekly show, pre- and post-game shows and everything with the Red Sox. So it was 03, the heartbreak of Aaron Boone and your Yankees, and what they were able to do to the Red Sox, kind of break their hearts even further. 04 was the unthinkable, breaking that curse after 86 years. And then 05 was just a tour. Every road game that we went to and covered and everything else, it's just people wanted to talk about 04.
Right.
So it was a blast. I got to know a lot of those players really, really well. I still talk to them all the time. And then being on a duck boat with Trot Nixon, Gabe Kapler, Doug Mirabelli, and Jason Veritek was out in the Charles River with thousands and thousands of people cheering them on was one of the highlights too. So a lot of great memories, and it all came with winning from all those sports teams.
Right. That sounds incredible. Although it hurt me hearing you ring off those years. Other than 03, we're happy about 03. But
Right.
that sounded,
Yankee fan.
yeah, exactly. That sounded incredible, and being on that boat. And also like with the Red Sox, but like you mentioned, the Patriots had their arguably the greatest run in professional sports history. And then the Celtics also have been in prominence as well, the Bruins. Now, what is the best piece of advice you can give someone who is thinking about pursuing a career in sports media?
I would say to me, it's pretty simple. Find your passion. Find what you want to do. And I say this all the time because we get a lot of kids asking, hey, how do I get into business? How do I do what you do and everything else? I always say to them, listen, figure out what you really want to do, what you like, and go try to do it for as long as you can. And you'll know within the first year or so, first couple months and everything else, if you have that passion that, to persevere. And a lot of our business is perseverance. It's, to me, it's pretty simple. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of passion for what you do. It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of sacrifice of family time and everything else. But when you find that passion, you'll know. And it's just a difference maker in your life when you can wake up every single day and look forward to your job. And it just makes everything else, your family, everything else that you do, that much more fun in life. And I've been blessed to be able to do that. So I would say, if you're interested in writing, go write. Find a place to write, whether it be on a blog or somewhere. If you're interested in radio work, find a radio station and just, do your own podcast or whatever. Now you can have that ability. And if it's on-air TV, then go to a smaller TV station or find a way to get on TV to see if you like it. And again, if you don't like it, I always say that too, it's okay. Move on to the next thing, because especially when you're young, when you're 19, 20, 21, 22, who cares? If you find, you do this and then go there and then do this, I don't like that, then try this. But you'll know once you find that passion, it's a great gift to have for the rest of your life. So go find that passion, work hard. I've always said, try to outwork everybody else and good things will happen.
Awesome. And something else I've heard, like you said in these interviews, is like try your hand at everything, right? Like you said, like you may not like certain things or certain parts of the job, but it may lead you to something that you really, really, truly love. So, learn how to be in front of a microphone, behind the camera, in front of the camera, writing, stuff like that. So that was reassuring to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's simple too, from the sense of, I worked for a wonderful man who was the program director at those Kurt Gowdy radio stations in Lawrence for 50 years. And he gave me some great advice. The first one was 2 words: be yourself. And the second one was versatility. So in other words, if I was to say, hey, could you go out and report on this fire in the city? Sure. Hey, can you, do you think you can maybe, try to do that? Sure. You know what I mean? It's always be like, hey, I'll figure it out as I go. But again, the more stuff you can do, especially nowadays, if you can write, if you can do radio, if you can do TV, the more valuable you're going to be in the eyes of your employer. So to me, be yourself, but also be as versatile as possible in life.
Awesome words of advice there. So thank you for that, Dan. And my last question, since you are a multiple time winner, have you been to awards weekend?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not been. It's one thing I do want to go to. I want to golf. I want to see all these the seminars. I want to, talk to all these people because, let's face it, I did go to the world's greatest university, and there's a lot of Syracuse winners out there. That I know and have known for years that I would love to see again. We did some Zoom calls during the whole pandemic and everything, but I would love to get together and say hi to a lot of people I haven't seen in a lot of years. So
that's incredible. So, hopefully you'll be down there and you will get all of the that time with your coworkers and stuff. Again, like a lot of the people that went before said their favorite part was being around people who understand their day to day and share the same passion as them. But yeah, so thank you again, Dan, for joining us, and congratulations again. If you want to shout anyone out before we head out or leave us with any closing remarks, you can go ahead and do that now.
Well, I mean, it's just thank you to all the people that are in our business that do all they do. Thank you to Dave and all he does for putting this all together. And he's a tireless worker and just a real good guy. I obviously thank to my family, to my wife, Pam, and my 2 kids and all that they do. And also all the good people out there, like I mentioned, that work really hard at what they do, are really good at their craft. It's just a pleasure to be amongst my peers and to be honored by those good people certainly says a lot. And it's one of the things I'll treasure for the rest of my life.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Dan, and congratulations.